Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Matthew Schreiner podcast. And this is a little off script episode, and I wanted to talk a little bit about Catholic media. And so, when I think about Catholic media, I think that there are two big names who really started in Catholic media and who started Catholic media as we see it today. That would be Bishop Fulton Sheen and Mother Angelica. Mother Angelica is the foundress of EWTN, and Bishop Sheen was very popular for his radio and television shows, and his radio show or his television show is still very popular today, as well as some of his writings are popular. However, the Catholic media landscape has changed greatly, and this comes with the advancing of technology. As long as technology has been advancing, Catholics have been trying to use that technology to share the gospel message. And so, one of the biggest places where the Catholic gospel message has attempted to spread its tentacles into sharing is YouTube. And there are many YouTube channels and even podcasts. So Spotify and Apple, those are two big places you can get podcasts. That continues to be how the gospel message is shared. Writing, of course, still remains a very popular way in which the Catholic gospel message is shared. People such as Trent Horn, Joe Heschmeyer, Scott Hahn, and others are very avid Catholic writers whose works are very popular for apologetics, defense of the faith, and such. Um, Besides this, all of those men also run YouTube channels. I notice there's almost a gap in Catholic media, that there is no female apologists or very popular female Catholic YouTube personalities. There are a few, and I know that people are going to be saying, "Oh, but so and so and so and so." For me, there's no big names like Trent Horn or Pints with Aquinas with Matt Fradd or Joe Heschmeyer or Brian Holzer. There's no one like that on a female side. Whereas if you look back, there was Mother Angelica, who was a very popular figure. I mean, she started EWTN. I don't see there being figures like those on a female side, and that's the same with Protestantism. I believe that there's even a hole in Protestantism, although I don't know if there has really ever been a female popular Protestant like we see. There are popular Protestant preachers like John MacArthur, who recently passed away, or Billy Graham, I believe his name is. Yeah, or whatever. I think you know who I'm trying to get at. There's no one really popular like those, or even some of the more interesting figures in Christian preaching, like Joel Osteen, and I always forget his name, but the kind of creepy guy who don't you say I did that, that guy. I can never remember his name. Uh, my point being, the Catholic message and the Christian message has always been something that people have been trying to spread in different ways based on their time, and so we still see this today within the church. And so I wanted to talk about this. And so recently there were two goings on within the Catholic media creation scheme. Involved There was one scandalous event occurring recently, and there's been responses to this, and I'm not going to get in depth into it. But one of the responses I really liked was Brian Holdsworth talking about what it should take to be a Catholic media personality, and he mentioned how you should be within a vocation, and I agree with that. I don't think that we should be allowing people who proclaim themselves as single, or such. The single life is not a vocation, he mentioned, and so I believe that people who do YouTube should firmly be either within one of the vocations, or should be strongly discerning about their vocation. But someone should be strongly and firmly in the vocations, and so I agree with that. I believe our best defenders have been people who are in vocations, but also, I've said this before, our best defenders are also those who are converts. And so I mentioned people like Dr. Scott Hahn, Dr. John Bergsma, and Trent Horn, as well as Dr. Taylor Marshall, very avid and very popular defenders of the faith, especially Dr. Hahn. Dr. Hahn has done other work, including college work and work in. He runs a podcast, and he runs the Bible Institute, the Biblical Institute, the St. Paul Biblical Institute, I believe it's called. And this is something that even Priest uses resources for writing homilies. And so I believe that there is a considerable advantage that many of our Protestant converts have towards defending the faith, because they learn the faith. They have to learn very minute details that cradle Catholics don't necessarily look at or just consider as fact, whereas a Protestant will learn it and they'll figure out, why do we believe this and such. And so people like Trent Horn, who began his work as doing pro-life ministry and apologetics for that, that also got him interested into Catholicism and such, and so he has a firm curiosity and understanding with Catholic doctrine, as well as Dr. Hahn. Dr. Hahn and his wife converted together, and they also have 7 children, 2 of whom are priests. And so I also think that there is also a gap in Catholic and Christian media, because where we used to have Mother Angelica, the foundress of EWTN, was obviously a female. There are no big females, either nun or laywoman, who have a kind of popularity in their defense or sharing of the faith that Mother Angelica had. I believe that there are people who have tried to fill the shoes of Bishop Fulton Sheen. Obviously, we have people like Bishop Robert Barron, who Bishop Barron started on television, and now he's popular on YouTube and in his writing and in his Word on Fire ministry. But even then, we don't have a strong woman like Mother Angelica, who founded EWTN. And so I believe that there is almost a need for a stronger defense of the faith, or just sharing of the faith on the female side, because I don't believe that there's anything preventing, and this isn't just Catholic, there's also Protestants, but I believe in our modern media landscape, looking at Mother Angelica as the big example, there's no one who has come close to filling the shoes of Mother Angelica. And so Mother Angelica was a wonderful, and she is still popular just as Bishop Sheen is popular. The Catholic message has never changed. There are many Protestants who would never be willing to share what former Protestants have said. I mean, there are. Don't get me wrong, but you don't see it as much as you do within Catholic media. At least I don't, but there has always been that. And so recently, I want to talk about something positive about the Christian Catholic message. And while the means of positivity are not necessarily great, the response to it has been wonderful and shows the greatness of Catholic media. Trent Horn, his wife Laura Horn, was recently diagnosed with brain cancer, and through that all, I watched their I listened to their podcast episode, and Laura and Trent, they just have such a positivity toward it. They're smiling and laughing in the podcast episode, and it's just wonderful. They're a very good showing of what a Catholic marriage is, and positivity towards it. But they the response to it has been wonderful. People, Catholic and not, have responded positively and shared and prayed for this, and that's just a wonderful showing from the Catholic and Christian media landscape. And so I think that I agree with what Brian Holdsworth said in his video responding to the recent scandal involving a Catholic media personality. Be in a vocation, but also know the faith, love the know the faith, love the faith, and share the faith in all things you do. Ultimately, I mentioned this before in my Be the Change and the other episode, Be Willing to Make the Change, or whatever I called it. That was totally just trying to bring back the message, but into this new, different way I've been recording. But I just wanted to say, be out there. This was the first episode I did hear the message to Catholics. Go out there, share the gospel, share the faith. Ultimately, use whatever means necessary, whatever means you have to do it. But also, before that, practice what you preach, know what you preach. That's the biggest thing. Is not just, oh, we in a vocation. That's one of the thing of it, but also know the Catholic faith, love the Catholic faith, and live by that Catholic faith. Practice what you preach, and avoid trying to bring scandal to the faith. No one is perfect, and everyone has sinned. I'm not trying to put down that, but I just wanted to share this. Catholic media, there's such an importance to it. There's so many people trying to share and bring up the faith, and it's a wonderful and most noble task. And so I just wanted to mention that. Mention that Catholic media, we need to be out and present within the media landscape, sharing our faith online, and that's something that we see, and it's a wonderful thing for the faith, and it's something necessary for sharing and then bringing people to the gospel, to the message, and to the truth. And so I thank you for that, and that's it for today, and I will see you next time.